and lead Harmut Nevin said that the chip's performance lends credence to the notion that quantum computation occurs in
In
many.
the infinite expanse of the cosmos, where stars burn with secrets older than time itself, humanity has always reached for answers, probing, daring, and sometimes trembling at what we might find. Imagine a machine so powerful it could unravel the very fabric of reality, a device that doesn't just compute but peers into the unseen, the impossible, the forbidden. Now picture that machine falling silent, not because it failed, but because it saw something so staggering that those who built it slammed the brakes in collective awe or dread. This is no science fiction tale. This is the story of NASA's quantum computer, a technological marvel that, according to multiple reports from 2023 and 2024, uncovered something so earth-shattering that operations were halted and a chilling silence descended over one of the most advanced research facilities on the planet. What could be so unthinkable that NASA, an institution built on exploration, would pull the plug? What truth could be so overwhelming that it left the world's brightest minds speechless? Buckle up because we're diving into a mystery that stretches from the quantum realm to the edges of our future, a journey that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the universe and our place in it. The story begins in the heart of NASA's Quantum Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, a place where the impossible is routine and the boundaries of physics are tested daily. Established in 2013 as a collaboration between NASA, Google, and the university's Space Research Association, this lab, nestled at the Ames Research Center in California, was designed to push the limits of human understanding. Its mission? To harness quantum computers, machines that don't just process data, but dance with the fundamental laws of reality itself. Unlike classical computers, which plod through calculations with bits that are either 0 or 1, quantum computers use qubits that exist in a surreal state of both 0 and 1 simultaneously, thanks to a phenomenon called superposition. This allows them to perform millions of calculations at once, solving problems that would take traditional supercomputers billions of years. It's the kind of power that can model the trajectories of spacecraft, predict cosmic weather, or even simulate the chaotic dance of stars. But it's also the kind of power that, when turned inward, might reveal truths we're not ready to face. By 2019, this partnership had already achieved a historic milestone: quantum supremacy. Google's quantum computer, with NASA's help, solved a problem in 200 seconds that would have taken the world's fastest classical computer 10,000 years. Fast forward to 2024, and the technology had evolved into something exponentially more potent. Google's Willow processor, unveiled in December 2024, could perform calculations so vast they defied comprehension, crunching numbers that would outlast the universe itself if attempted by classical means. NASA had access to this cutting-edge tech, using it to probe the mysteries of the cosmos. But something happened, something that made the lab go dark. In November 2023, whispers began to surface. TechZone, a tech news outlet, dropped a bombshell. NASA had abruptly halted its quantum computing operations after the system produced results that were inconsistent with known physical laws. Not errors, not glitches, results that seemed to defy the very rules that govern our reality. What does it mean for a machine to produce outputs that break physics? To understand, we need to grasp what quantum computers are truly capable of. These aren't just faster calculators. They operate in a realm where the ordinary rules don't apply. Through quantum entanglement, qubits can be linked across vast distances, sharing information instantaneously in ways that challenge our understanding of cause and effect. Through superposition, they can explore countless possibilities at once, like a mind that thinks in every direction simultaneously. This makes them uniquely suited to modeling complex systems, systems like the universe, or even human civilization. Imagine a computer that can simulate every possible future, mapping out the interplay of climate, economics, technology, and society with unnerving precision. Now imagine that computer finding something in those simulations, something so alarming that the people running it decided the world wasn't ready to know. The reports didn't stop with TechZone. In July 2024, Tech Shepherd, another outlet, doubled down, claiming the pause wasn't due to failure, but because the quantum computer had succeeded too well. Their sources suggested the system had generated impossible solutions. Not wrong answers, but answers that worked in ways that shouldn't be possible. These weren't random anomalies. They were internally consistent, as if the machine had tapped into a logic beyond our grasp. One anonymous source, claiming to be a quantum engineer, told Uday India that the output seemed to violate causality itself, the principle that cause precedes effect, the bedrock of how we understand time. It's as if the computer was speaking a language we couldn't decode, revealing patterns that hinted at realities we can't comprehend. And then there's the silence. NASA's Quantum Lab, which had been publishing groundbreaking papers regularly, hasn't released a single research update since April 2023. For a facility at the forefront of science, this is more than unusual. It's deafening. The human response is just as telling. According to Tech Shepherd, 3 senior researchers requested transfers out of the program within weeks of the alleged incident. No explanations, no exit interviews, just silence and signed non-disclosure agreements. Online researchers digging into NASA's internal job postings from late 2023 noticed something curious: a sudden spike in openings for specialists in quantum anomaly assessment and non-standard output analysis. While unverified, these claims paint a picture of a project grappling with something unprecedented. And it wasn't just NASA. The broader quantum computing landscape shifted dramatically. In early 2024, the National Quantum Initiative saw a massive funding boost. The Pentagon established new quantum research divisions. Classified briefings on quantum technology spiked by 300%. When was the last time the government poured billions into a technology that wasn't delivering? Here's where the story takes a darker turn. What if the pause wasn't because something went wrong, but because something went terrifyingly right? Quantum computers excel at detecting patterns invisible to the human eye. Cascade effects where tiny changes lead to massive consequences. They can model chaotic systems with eerie accuracy, from market crashes to pandemics. MIT researchers have used quantum systems to predict financial downturns with 89% accuracy. Stanford's Quantum Lab modeled disease spread patterns years before COVID-19. If these machines can do that, what else might they see? What if NASA's quantum computer, while simulating space phenomena, accidentally modeled something closer to home, like the future of human civilization? What if it detected an approaching tipping point, a convergence of climate collapse, resource scarcity, or societal instability that leads to an outcome we can't escape? A machine that can simulate infinite possibilities might have found a future that's all too certain and all too grim. The implications are staggering. If a quantum computer mathematically proved that our current trajectory leads to collapse within decades, how do you share that with the world? Do you announce it, risking panic and paralysis? Or do you go silent, hoping to find a way to change the outcome? The silence from NASA, the researcher transfers, the government's sudden urgency, it all points to a discovery too big to ignore, yet too dangerous to reveal. And then there's the Willow processor, Google's quantum leap forward, unveiled just months after these reports surfaced. If NASA's system, built on similar technology, found something paradigm-shifting, what might these newer, more powerful machines uncover? The technology isn't slowing down, it's accelerating, and with it, the potential to reveal truths we may not be ready to face. This is just the beginning of the mystery. The quantum realm is a place of infinite possibilities, but also infinite uncertainties. What NASA's quantum computer discovered may challenge not just our understanding of physics, but our very sense of what's possible. The silence from NASA's quantum lab hangs like a shadow over the future, a void where answers should be. It's not just the absence of words that unsettles, it's the weight of what might be hidden, the possibility that a machine designed to illuminate the cosmos has instead cast a stark light on our own fragility. As we peel back the layers of this mystery, the questions grow sharper, the stakes higher. What could a quantum computer, capable of simulating realities beyond human comprehension, have uncovered that was so profound it forced one of the world's leading scientific institutions to pull back? Was it a glimpse into a forbidden corner of physics, a prophecy of doom, or something even stranger? Something that challenges the very nature of existence? Let's dive deeper, following the threads of evidence, speculation, and the haunting human responses that suggest we're on the cusp of a revelation that could redefine everything. To understand the gravity of what happened, we need to explore the true power of quantum computers, not just as tools, but as oracles of sorts, capable of seeing patterns and possibilities that elude even the sharpest human minds. These machines don't merely crunch numbers. They navigate the chaotic interplay of countless variables, weaving through probabilities like a needle threading the fabric of reality. NASA's Quantum Lab was built to tackle problems like optimizing spacecraft paths through the gravitational tangle of the solar system or predicting space weather with precision that could save missions. But the same algorithms that chart asteroid orbits can also map the trajectories of economies, climates, or societies. They can detect tipping points, those invisible thresholds where small shifts trigger catastrophic cascades. Imagine a system that, while modeling the cosmos, accidentally turned its gaze inward, simulating the intricate dance of human civilization with a clarity we've never achieved. What might it see? A convergence of crises, climate feedback loops spiraling out of control, resource wars ignited by scarcity, technological dependencies collapsing under their own weight. The thought alone is enough to make your pulse quicken. The reports from 2023 and 2024 paint a picture of a discovery that shook those who witnessed it. TechZone's initial article in November 2023 described outputs that didn't just bend the rules of physics, but seemed to shatter them, producing data that defied causality itself. Causality, the idea that events follow a logical sequence of cause and effect, is so fundamental to our understanding of the universe that its violation feels like a tear in reality. Tech Shepherd's follow-up in July 2024 added fuel to the fire, alleging that the quantum computer hadn't malfunctioned, but had generated solutions that were too perfect, answers that worked but shouldn't exist within the framework of known science. One source, speaking anonymously to Uday India, described the data as speaking a language that researchers couldn't decipher, as if the machine had tapped into a logic from another realm. These weren't random errors. They were patterns, consistent and deliberate, like a message from a place we can't yet reach. The human toll tells its own story. 3 senior researchers reportedly fled the project, requesting transfers without explanation, their silence sealed by non-disclosure agreements. Imagine the kind of discovery that would drive seasoned scientists, people accustomed to wrestling with the unknown, to walk away. Online sleuths combing through NASA's job postings from late 2023 claim to have found listings for roles like quantum anomaly assessment and non-standard output analysis, terms that sound like they belong in a sci-fi thriller, but hint at a desperate scramble to understand something unprecedented. While these claims remain unverified, they align with a broader pattern of urgency. The National Quantum Initiative's budget surged by 400% in 2024. The Pentagon spun up new quantum research divisions. Classified briefings on quantum technology skyrocketed. Governments don't mobilize like this for routine setbacks. They do it when they sense a paradigm shift or a threat. What makes this so chilling is the context of what quantum computers can do. These machines excel at modeling complex, chaotic systems like our planet's climate or global financial markets. MIT researchers have already used quantum systems to predict market crashes with 89% accuracy, spotting patterns that human analysts missed. Stanford's Quantum Lab modeled pandemic spread patterns years before they became reality. If NASA's system, armed with Google's cutting-edge Willow processor, turned its power towards something as intricate as human civilization, it could have mapped out futures with terrifying precision. Environmental scientists have long warned of a convergence point in the 2070s, where Arctic ice loss, freshwater shortages, and agricultural collapse collide to create mass migration and conflict on an unprecedented scale. What if the quantum computer didn't just predict this, but proved it with mathematical certainty, charting a cascade of events that leads to societal collapse within our lifetimes? The kind of knowledge that doesn't inspire hope but dread. But there's another possibility, one that stretches the boundaries of science into the realm of the almost unthinkable. Quantum mechanics is a strange beast, a world where particles exist in multiple states until observed, where information can leap across vast distances through entanglement, where time itself can behave in ways that defy intuition. Some physicists speculate about quantum foam, the roiling, fluctuating undercurrent of spacetime at the smallest scales, where the laws of physics blur into chaos. Others talk of parallel quantum states, alternate realities that exist alongside our own, inaccessible yet intertwined. Could NASA's quantum computer have stumbled into this territory, detecting signals or patterns from beyond our reality? An anonymous source claiming to be a quantum engineer told Uday India that the data appeared to communicate in patterns that baffled researchers, like a language from another dimension. These aren't the hallmarks of a broken machine. They're the signs of a discovery that challenges the very framework of science. And the human response only deepens the mystery. Three senior researchers reportedly left the project abruptly, their reasons locked behind non-disclosure agreements. Job postings for quantum anomaly assessment and non-standard output analysis surfaced, hinting at a frantic effort to make sense of something unprecedented. This isn't the behavior of a team that hit a dead end. It's the reaction of people confronting the unthinkable. The broader context amplifies the unease. In 2024, the National Quantum Initiative's budget ballooned by 400%, signaling a government that sees quantum technology as a priority or a threat. The Pentagon established new quantum research divisions and classified briefings on the subject surge. The NSA created a department for quantum threat assessment, a term that evokes more than just cybersecurity concerns. Meanwhile, tech giants like Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta quietly formed teams to study quantum-predicted scenarios, and Wall Street firms began modeling quantum-identified systemic risks. It's as if the world's most powerful institutions are preparing for something they can't or won't name. And at the center of it all is NASA's silence, unbroken since April 2023, a void where groundbreaking research once thrived. When a facility known for transparency goes dark, it's not because nothing happened, it's because something did, something so significant it demanded secrecy. What could that something be? One possibility is that the quantum computer modeled our future with a clarity that left no room for doubt. Quantum systems excel at detecting cascade effects, those moments when small changes trigger massive consequences. Environmental scientists have warned of a critical convergence in the 2070s, when Arctic ice loss, freshwater scarcity, and agricultural collapse could spark mass migration and global conflict. A quantum computer, with its ability to simulate countless variables, could have mapped this trajectory with mathematical precision, proving that our current path leads to collapse within decades. Such a prediction wouldn't just be alarming, it would be paralyzing. How do you announce that civilization has a ticking clock? The silence, the researcher transfers, the government's urgency, all align with a discovery of this magnitude. It would explain why NASA paused operations, why researchers fled, why the government is investing billions while saying nothing. But there's another stranger possibility, one that pushes the boundaries of science into the realm of the surreal. Quantum mechanics is a world of paradoxes, where particles can exist in multiple states, where entanglement allows instant connections across vast distances, where time itself can bend. Some physicists theorize about quantum foam, the chaotic fluctuations of space-time at the smallest scales, or parallel quantum states that coexist with our own reality. Could NASA's quantum computer have detected something in this uncharted territory? A signal, a pattern, or a truth that lies beyond our universe? The reports of data that violates causality and speaks a language suggests the machine may have brushed against something otherworldly. While the idea of parallel realities or quantum anomalies sounds like science fiction, it's grounded in theories debated in peer-reviewed journals. If the computer tapped into such a realm, the implications would be staggering, not just for science, but for our understanding of existence itself. Then there's the human element, the voices warning us to tread carefully. In 2023, a prominent tech visionary intensified his calls for caution, describing the fusion of quantum computing and AI as an existential risk multiplier. He spoke of machines that could see possibilities humans can't imagine, futures we might not be able to prevent. His urgency shifted dramatically after the NASA report surfaced, as if he knew something the rest of us didn't. This is someone with access to the world's most advanced technologies, someone who doesn't scare easily. If he's sounding the alarm, it's because the stakes are beyond comprehension. Combine this with the government's actions, the funding surges, the new divisions, the classified hearings, and a picture emerges of a world bracing for a truth it's not ready to face. As we stand here in May 2025, the quantum revolution is accelerating. Google's Willow processor has shattered every record, performing calculations that defy the limits of classical computing. IBM is closing in on 100,000 qubit systems, and other nations are racing to claim quantum supremacy.